Hello and welcome to the next session of Krastorio and space exploration. We are going to think about a new factory today. That's the whole big topic, and I've done a lot of preparation in the last couple of episodes. We are still not quite done yet for all of those who are tuning back in. The last couple of episodes I was busy building up a new rail network and new mining outposts that right now are digging out all of the materials that are available in there. I have set up the warehouses accordingly that I can store the entirety of the patches, and we're going to transport them away over the course of the time. Here we will set up a new distribution platform for the new chapter of our factory, and well, the topic of today, the episode is called The New Factory, is going to be to think about how am I going to expand for the future? What are the new demands on my factory? What do I have to do? Where will I do it? And what kind of preparations can we do? So a lot of theory crafting, but I'll be also building some, don't worry. But it's been a really heavy chunk for me to, well, to get myself some overview about what the hell is going to happen next here. Because space exploration and Krastorio together is quite a chunky monster that I personally have underestimated. Gotta admit, I totally underestimated that. And if I had known what I've gotten myself into, I would have stayed with C block and would have been happy about the simpler mod pack. But I don't really want to modder here. It's certain sounds a little bit like I do, but actually I'm really enjoying myself. So we're going to build ourselves a couple of extra radar panels, and the next job that I want to go for is I want to get myself a little bit of radar coverage into this direction, because I want to build up the new factory into this direction as well. Probably at the end of the day, we're going to use the entirety of this horizontal line here. That's at least what I have in mind. But for starters, I want to cover this area here, and in the meantime, think a little bit about what the hell we're going to need now, because we are entering an entirely new profile of requirements, so to say. There's the space science is now a thing, and it is a entirely new venue of pain to get ourselves into, because we have to manufacture that stuff in space. I keep saying that every stream now, since 4 streams or so. That's how much PTSD I got. But jokes aside, this means we have here the beginning of our requirement profile for the space factory. This is going to be the first thing that we will have to produce for the space factory. And everything beyond that will be unraveling itself over the course of the time, I'd say. Because as of yet, I really don't know, you know. I really have no clue what's it going to be. So that's why I want to set up a nice and large area that gives me the backbone to work with, you know. So I'd say we're going to go, yeah, there, that's a good spot. And then we're going to dive deeper. Also considering to craft myself some artillery ammo. Hey, Boyd, welcome. Happy to see you, Matt. So, there we go. And here we're just casually stringing up our power poles. Yeah, man, I was recently checking out what how many new people were recently joining the community and who's been hanging around quite often, and then I saw your name there. And you know, being among the regulars will give you also voting power over the upcoming projects, you know. I am slow scale setting up the Patreon project here. Patreons. We don't have any, well, almost none, but you get the idea. And the long-term plan is to to produce a couple of gameplay sessions where the community, the supporters, get to decide what I'm going to play. And the regulars are among the squad that have voting power, so that's what I tried to summarize here. So it's time to flop down a radar panel, and let's see. Lurch. So here we got a little bit more vision. I think, well, I think one over here would be awesome, and one more down here would be awesome too. Alright, let's do this. But I won't be able to cross the pond here, or do I? You see, that's why you are among the regulars. So, oh, I am also out of blue capsules, but it doesn't matter too much as of here. So, dang it. I really have to... No, I have landfill. Awesome. The capable engineer never leaves home without his trusty landfill. Let's make it as small as necessary. There we go. Let's string up some power from there. And for everybody who's tuning in here, not as a live stream, you can check out in the description box my entire playlist for this thing. You also can just check out Discord and Twitter, where I announce every stream before it happens. And beyond that, you can also just subscribe. That's the easiest way. Hit the bell thing, and you'll get notified whenever a new stream pops up. And also, all of my content is free, stays free, and therefore I can use all the help that I can get. Please be so kind and check out the PayPal and Patreon links down there in the description box. It would be my pleasure if you did. So, with the ad roll out of the way, let's get deeper into alien territory. So, well, I want to string this down probably all the way here, so we really grab a nice big chunk of vision there. There we go. Everything is so purple here. These explorations will help me later too, to make sure that I'll be seeing resources to expand into. And having a power line running all over the place somewhere is always useful, because this beast will stay hungry. Okay, so that's looking good. Let's see. Do we have a radar gap? Yes. Math Gamer, hi there. Well, it certainly shows its age, that's for sure. I mean, Factorio is also quite technical in its appeal. I agree with I get it. I get your problem there, but gotta say, it is still one of the best things I've played ever in this genre, because it is well, no game that I've played in the factory genre was ever able to compete with the sheer scope of Factorio. With Factorio, you can put up things that literally fry your PC, because they're so frickin' large. And not many games give you the tools to build something which is larger than your PC can handle. So. You don't jump into the huge scope. Well, you can reduce the scope though by playing vanilla or playing smaller mod packs. You don't need to be a crazy bastard like me and torture yourself with such a massive undertaking. But personally, I'm a passionate idle and incremental gamer, and therefore I love huge projects, you know. I do play idle and incremental games mainly because they always give you such ridiculously huge tasks that will keep me busy for a while, you know. I love being busy for a while, okay? Don't judge. And therefore, Factorio totally scratches my itch there, with all its megalomaniac things that you can do there. I do agree, though, it is... I see why it is not everybody's cup of tea, because it's has a weird pacing. You have long phases of preparation, theory crafting, and then a few things run down the line and you're feeling like God. Why is that so? Because it was only happening because of your smart planning and strategizing that it could happen. But for an outsider, you would look at these things and be like, yo, nice factory, dude. And that's that. So that's something that really is weird about Factorio. Crusader, Kings, and Stellaris. Oh, yeah. Well, I do plan to jump into the Stellaris and it's Crusader King's Hoop as well. Don't worry, guys. And well, I personally would rather say the mobile market was is a pretty big downside for the idle and incremental game, because it provides a lot of games that for me don't have anything to do with the positive sides of the genre. You know, it's just a cash grab. Many of these, it's just you know, it's horrible. Many of these mobile games are just outright horrible, and it really concerns me to say that as somebody who loves the genre, I don't have a single idle or incremental game on my smartphone, which is not on my PC or originates from there. I have no native title on Android found so far that I really like, so that's really horrible. Auto battlers are awesome, yeah. Pokemon Go, well, I never got into the whole Pokemon shtick, you know. It's just not been my cup of tea. Generational thing, I'd say. And look at that. Now we see a really large amount of the map. And I do love the concept of Pokemon Go, though. I really think that's a great thing. Yeah, well, there are so many cool incremental games nowadays. But to get back to the actual topic here, Factorio is, funnily enough, in its core, also an incremental game. You are merely setting up the producers of your incremental income by yourself. It's basically like programming your incremental income sources. That's what I love so much about the game. It's partially coding, visual coding, so to say. And that's pretty awesome. Alright, we got the vision coverage, and that's now the next thing that we're going to do. Grabbing some materials and checking out what we're going to do with all that stuff, you know. Yeah, it's a smart way to say it. It has a lot of the managing simulation, but the pressure of the strategy game genre is not applied. Alrighty, so I need power poles. For me, it's always a massive thrill to walk through all this, knowing that every single bit and bob in here was conceptualized and made by me. And walking through this is always really... it also has a therapeutical effect on me, because, you know, I've been struggling a lot in my life with the feeling of not getting anything done, or, you know, not finishing things and the like. And this game gives you a extreme sense of accomplishment every time you really accomplish something here. And therefore, it really, there's a lot of things going on for Factorio that I cannot find anywhere else. That's why I keep coming back to such an oldie. I know, by now it is a little bit of an oldie. Alright, so we have to set up, for the sake of space science, processing units. We can produce these on Novice. And, let's see. These space belts, we cannot produce them on Novice. So everything necessary for the space transportation, for the space transport belts, has to be transported upwards. That means we need a lot of small electric motors, we need a lot of low-density structures, and steel as well. We also need lubricant, but I have an alternative plan for that already. So, yeah, well, but mobile game, there is more to a good incremental game than just numbers going up, you know, and that's what a lot of mobile devs don't seem to get. There's a lot more to the genre to be good. So, I don't know if I'll be, let's see, space underground belts, advanced circuits. So, red circuits are also a thing that we're going to need. The no thinking is very appealing to me. Yeah, to me too. Sometimes, at the end of the day, I'm really happy to play something which doesn't require my brain at all. You know, I do so much thinking at my daytime job. It's awesome to have something that doesn't require any thinking whatsoever. So, onto the shopping list goes the big electric motor, the heat shielding. So, we definitely should just set up a big bad parts factory. That's what we're going to set up. Because at the end of the day, we are now requiring a steady shipment of these things back and forth between space and this planet, and therefore, the best thing I can do is set up a steady infrastructure for that. So let's do this. It took me literally weeks to come up with that idea. So, I don't know. This mod pack is something else. I really underestimated it, and now the sheer stubbornness of mine just keeps me going. Every time coming back, chunking through 1 to 2 hours of this big bad mod pack. So, we're going to go now for the details. So, I am extracting lots of ore at this site. I am processing my ore here. So here we process copper, here we process iron. These facilities are, frankly said, already pretty stressed out. There is only so and so much room that we could add in new facilities add. Here's a little bit of room to add in stuff. Here is an entire column where we could put up more iron production. But I feel like stepping away from all that and starting new on a clean slate. Because it is, right now, I need way more than just this one column here and this one column there to get myself really going, you know? And therefore, well, let's go for an entirely bigger chunk. And here we see our wonderful polluted ocean piece. Isn't it beautiful? So that means, let's get back to this other side of mine. Have rails in a chest there, I think. And now, let's think about the bigger picture of logistics here. So, I do plan to transport all the ores that get mined out onto this island. I plan to expand this island, and I should really produce some radar coverage then. And basically, the more infrastructure for distribution I need, the more island I want to create. That's been the plan. So this way I can keep it as large as possible and as small as I can. So let's slap up the radar panel here, so we have a nice eye on the sea. And all right, so that means we're going to need to distribute things here. That also means we're going to need unloading bays for our trains. The trains will come from various sites here. We have, I hope I have enough rails to get the transportation done, but we'll see about that later. So I thought I had still rails somewhere lying around here. Maybe back there. I mean, here comes the big problem. I'm a total scrub when it comes down to bigger railway systems. And this has been a very, very unhappy topic for me. Oh, look at that. I'm actually producing rails at the starter base. And I really am still a little bit scared about the whole train stuff. But, well, there's only one way of getting through it, and that's by going boldly where I've never been before. So here goes. That's one unloading bay. So train goes in, train goes out. I mean, the other way would be to have a parallel rail down here, where they would be... I think that's better. Don't want to have loops all over the place. That's just way too inefficient with my spacing. We're going to go like here, and that's going to loop back into the main grid then. And now we're going to set up several bays of these. Alright, let's go all the way over here so we know where we need to go afterwards. So this is going to be one distribution center. It's for me the very, very first time that I plan something as massive as this on Factorio, so got me really excited. Okay. So can we now just copy that? Say something like here. Yeah, looks like I can. So there we go. So the idea is fully loaded train goes in here, gets unloaded there at one of these bays, drives back in here, and gets to get back into the bigger rail grid afterwards. So let's see. Let's expand here a little bit. I mean, one really cool part about Factorio is, due to the fact that many projects are so massive and so large scale, you have so much time to think about what you're doing that the really complicated things are not as badly complicated as you might think, because you have just a lot of time to ponder about it while you're building it. So, just opening up here more venues into this direction there. Landfill is not sufficient. Okay. So, let's set up one example of a train station. So, train will come in here. So, if I'd be driving down this side. So we need a train station first. So train stop goes on that side. So we can unload up to 3 3 wagons here. That's pretty good. So this station is called Devon J. Stop is inaccessible from the current position. Yeah, truly it is. So alright. So here I expect to do another crossroads. So let's set that up already. I'm just doing these things really large scale right from the get-go, so I don't accidentally miss a spot later, you know. So here goes the next step. And then okay, from this point on we're yeah, okay, well. Probably we'll need to rethink this crossing here later. This might become an issue. Or, no, this will become an issue. But until then, let's just... Now it's inaccessible again. Alright. Yeah, of course it's inaccessible, because he's only able to drive this way, and from this direction you cannot get onto these bays. True that. So actually these connectors are totally wrong, because we don't want to get back on this rail, we want to get back on that rail. Trains, you gotta love them. So we actually are supposed to go up here. So what is the purpose of Factorio? In this mod pack, our job is to explore space. So we have a, we're going to have a lot of doing to, yeah, your goal is to make that a Dyson sphere. Well, here it is to explore space. I heard that the deeper you go into this mod pack, the clearer, the more story and stuff is also going to be. But here it is a progression chain. And we already have the ability to look into the star here, into the system here. So you see, this is just our home system, and we can tap into all these suckers there. This is all accessible. None of these are placeholders or anything. I can see the mineral composition of things there, and we can also go deeper, and there you can see that the Calidus star system that we are at is just the first of many. So Pontus would be, for example, the next thing. And yeah, I don't know where exactly this will end, but this is on a very on a very huge scale, and well, I love it, you know. Let's just say I love the living hell out of it. So let's start our endeavor with slowly setting up our grid of trains here. which is the one thing that I dread the most as of these days. Really, I am so scared about the whole train thing. But you see, I've been in this spot since way too long, and I wanted to get rid of that. This is, by the way, one of the things that many Factorio players are sitting in front of, that they really have a lot of trouble with the entire train gameplay. Personally, always feel like the trains are a little bit too complicated, or the user interface isn't too easy to grasp. It's the very, very anti-intuitive how you have to set up things, and I'm kind of sad that this is such a thing for many people. So that's why I'm trying to learn my best and give a proper tutorial that people actually can understand. Because my problem with all the tutorials was that I had for a brief moment the feeling as if I understood things, but when I wanted to go from theory to practice, I realized that I always was just thinking that I understood it. And, well, I'll be getting past that. So right now I need to grab new materials for that train thingy. We don't do any train signaling so far. I'm just setting up the raw railings. The signaling is the real nightmare. It's really not that hard to set these things up to make them somewhat running, but to signal it in a way that the trains don't run into each other is just a pain. And that's the point where I feel like it probably would have been not the worst idea to sacrifice some complexity for the sake of accessibility in this pod. Hey, Clyde, welcome. So happy to see you, man. Always happy to see some appreciation on good old Factorio. Alright, so let's get back to the unpacking station. But so far, things are looking almost professional, so somewhat relieved about that. So more rails in my pocket. Probably don't need them, but since this is slowly turning into a train station here after all, I figured I might as well have a little bit of a storage spot for all the materials. Rails. Oh no, I forgot the trains. Whatever. So let's do this. And each of these unloading stations will require such amounts of material, and that's pretty rough, isn't it? So let's go like that. But luckily, I think we will be okay with merely 2 unloading bays to start with. So, okay. And then I have no tier 3 belts for that. Hated. So we're going to distribute it like this. Looks weird, I know. But this is going to be the hub. Hobbity hub. And from that hub, I'm going to distribute that stuff even further. It's the best solution before you have high capacity belts there. Doubt Pride, eh there? I'm so happy about people like you that just vicariously live through YouTube. I love that wording. And, you know, otherwise I'd have no audience at all, you know. I feel like Factorio is a great game to be a 100% audience, because it's just so much of a how to put it, of a dedication, you know. You have to put in so much dedication if you truly want to embrace the spaghetti, and therefore I totally get it. I really do. Feel like this is a great game to be a surrogate gamer, or let me do the surrogate gaming. You know what I want to say. Well, I'm mega hyped about that new update, just so you know. It's merely that I think that there is, well, how to put it? I'm a little bit afraid about the new features, but only because I don't see the entirety of the entire picture. Right now, I see all these new things, the new mechanoids and the new jobs and whatnot, and I'm a little bit concerned that this might go in a way that I actually don't appreciate. So, am I hyped? Extremely, but I need to see the entire picture. Right now, I see that the devs have added in new difficulties, pretty mean difficulties too. So, for example, you have to work with new poison damage. So, oh, I did crap there. Whoopsie. You have to deal with new types of poison damage. There's an entire faction based on that. You have to deal with new types of mechanoids. These are also pretty dangerous. And yeah, I think there's... this is quite... this can be really good, but it can be also a big turd, you know? I'm a little bit skeptical at this point. Yeah, and don't get me started about the mods, yeah. Like, crap, I don't have any rails on me right now. So, as you see here, my train is constantly not able to do his thing. There's no path. That's because there's just too many dead ends on this thing here. Get away from the automatic. So... But on the bright side, we're going to get past this quite soonish. So let's see. Would I be able to get in there? No. So have to stabilize this whole thing by making it a real roundabout. It ain't a roundabout yet, you know. That's why the train cannot go. Totally understand the problems there, but at the same time, well, that's what sucks about trains. They are quite ineffective until you have completed entire train tracks. And to complete an entire train track, well, if it's a small system, it's easily done. If it's a system that's supposed to do something, it's a nightmare. Because you see so many of your mistakes only later down the road, when you basically entombed them in your design already. And well, Downpride, I'm really, like I said, I'm a little bit torn about what this will all mean. I do see those new additions, and I feel like they could be they will be really great. But for me, I'm personally pissed with RimWorld that the only late game threat, the only late game difficulty are the mechanoids. Period. There's like, and now the only thing they do is to slap in even more mechanoids. More dangerous mechanoids. And I'm like, yay. Slow clap. Like, really, I would have loved something more innovative, you know? Something less the same. Because now we're just going to have to clap those stupid mechs again. And again, and again, and well, it grows old on me. And now we even just get one thing, even bigger and better mechs, you know. And I haven't had fun with them in the first place. And now it looks like you either have these new mechanitors, or you are, well, you're in pain. Yeah. Modded factions, well, I should really try that one too. Feel like that could be something that would help me out here as well. So I missed on that spot. So I want to be able to get from this spot to that spot as well. Why is that looking here so wrong? The angle is much narrower, that's why. But technically it's the same. Alright. So now I can get on each rail, no matter from where. I have no clue how the hell I'm going to signal this nightmare, but it is going to be possible. I know that. Grr. So, let's do something more fun. We're going to set up a unloading station for this thing. So, do I have one still on my... Great. So I'd say we're going to go here. So, already got so much stone here. Then. Sorry guys, I'm all over the place today. It's just like always something else showing up here. Now, I'm doing this only to empty my pockets, in case you're wondering what the hell I'm doing. I got just too much stone in my pocket, and, well, I always play with alpha animals, yeah. I'm just talking about late game, you know? I'm totally okay with the mid game and that all, but, I feel like the late game of RimWorld is always mechanoids. Whatever you do, it's always mechanoids. And, that's something that really bothers me a bit. And it feels like they're just deepening that topic. And right now, to get back to make a full circle here, I merely saw that the only things that, or the only things I saw were the mechanitors to counter more mechanoids. I didn't see any new tools except for the mechanitors. I saw that the mechanoids now get to pierce our shields via lasers, so that's really a big bummer for all of you who loved the shield packs. Yeah, that's exactly what I think too. So this one is that direction, this one is that direction, so we're going to come from here. I mean, technically, this rail system is meant to be bi-directional, so every train can go whatever direction it pleases, but, well, I really don't know if I'll be able to make that work. So there we go. I honestly don't know what I'm doing here. I just hope that whatever I'm doing here is going to be possible to put signals on it in a way that it'll work out. Alright, so here goes the train station. My plan is now to just set it up in a way that we're going to be able to facilitate one of these thingies, you know. So. And add another station. Jake Lindgren. Alright, so far so good. My train is picking up the tour. He's hopping on over here, and oh yeah. So empty cargo, full cargo. So he'll wait after after that trip. But now I can already see whether or not the tour is possible. It looks good. Looks good. It seems like I've achieved the first thing. Now I just need to make sure that there's a rail signaling there. My plan is to do a couple of intersections in between those thingies here, except for the crossings. So if ever trains would collide with each other, they can just swap onto a different railway and avoid collision like that. At least that's what I hope to be possible somehow. I really have no clue if that's possible. Okay, so now we got that. And I'm out of materials again. Okay, now then, we're going to put in some bricks in there. And, I mean, the good news is, the last couple of episodes, I've been doing so frickin' much walking that I really felt like I was, I should get some bonus miles. But, this time we're able to drive a lot with the train around instead of being bothered by that. So here we just need to stop that sucker from being an idiot. So that train will wait for us down the road. So I probably need a larger stockpile of stack inserters, because I end up using quite a lot of these nowadays. So let's do that. So right now we're knee deep in preparations. This will all just be necessary though, and I mean the good news is when all of that is properly set up, I'll be able to just connect every mining outpost that I build just with that rail grid, and I'm good. And this will save so much time in the future. Although it's quite a bummer to set it up in the first place, you know. But it is as it is. So let's increase the amount of stack inserters that I pre-produce on top. Oh, that's great. That's great. And more choo-choos. I need more choo-choos. So I got enough locomotives, but I don't have enough cargo wagons. There we go. 5 cargo wagons aren't enough either. 8 cargo wagons. I want 9. But, yeah, whatever. I don't care. That's enough for now. Let's see, I got 5 train stops and tons of signals. Or at least what I call tons of signals. Don't think that an experienced player would, but that doesn't matter. I'm only 1,000 hours in, I'm a scrub. This is, the irony behind that is intended. I've seen a wonderful meme about Factorio that, so when do you get good at this game? That's the neat part, you don't. So. Thank you, man. That's so nice of you. Don't worry about me, though. I'll be just doing my thing and attracting more and more like-minded gamers until I earn enough to by just you guys watching my videos. That's at least the plan. So let's summon the train. Let's just add in a condition it cannot fulfill. And why do I want to wire up the copper outpost so badly? Oh, because I don't have a new iron outpost at all? That's bad. We're going to run out of iron at some point in the near future. I really need to wire up some new iron. Here. Okay. At least, yeah, this was the one that was guarded by bajillions of biters. Now I remember. Gosh. So, and there's no other area where I could pick up iron from. Are you kidding me, game? And you see, that's why I need this distribution thingy here. Is there really no other iron patch in the closer vicinity? We depleted that wonderful thing here. Now it's all gone. I mean, the good news is this train here still has a couple of things going on for himself, but it's not possible to fill it anymore. Good God. I thought I had a little bit more than just one deposit of iron available. So we really need to set up that mining patch ASAP. Here's one, smaller, but it's so far deep in the wilds that it'd be almost hard to connect it to the grid. Down here is a small patch. I mean, I could get the trails, other rails down there. There's 2 iron deposits, small, well, small. Learn the language or become a veteran Factorio player. Same time commitment. Indeed, man, indeed. And it's quite a good comparison, because even though I am speaking parts of the Factorio language quite fluently already, there are still parts of the grammar that are still kicking me. So up there is another iron deposit that we could pick up, but that's that. Crap. Oh, I have... Oh, no. Never mind. I have already tapped one here. Oh. Okay, that's where we're going to go. So, let's drive on to the other thingy. But at the same time, I gotta say, Factorio has taught me a lot about project management, you know. You just do such large things that you really learn a lot about organizing your stuff in a way that it stays manageable. That's one thing I really gotta say. If anybody, if I ever had to hire somebody for my business and he'd be stating that he's a long-term Factorio player and I'd be looking for somebody to manage stuff, I'd be inclined. I'd be very inclined, you know. So, let's go this way. Now let's see, how did I wire this up? Alright. Yeah, that's the whole thing. I bloody love logistics, you know. It's just one of my favorite things. I do love to transport things efficiently from A to B. Sue me. It's one of my favorite things to do. Alright, so we got that, and now we're going to go for a secondary piece of rails here like that. And there like that. So now all we need is to go here like that. Fill that up. And then we have a somewhat viable crossing here. That doesn't kill my oil deposit anymore. And that's one point where I gotta say, Factorio feels a little bit antiquated by the time now. It's just like setting up my infrastructure for transports is just a huge pain in the butt. And, well, a lot of games nowadays offer a lot smoother solutions to these problems. Don't want to say that Factorio does a bad job here, but I just think, like, the sheer amount of time that I have to invest here is, you know, it's quite something, alright? It is truly quite something. Alright, so... let's see. Is that even viable? Train comes in from here, is unable to get into this rail from there. So we have to do a connector here. Or already here. Now that looks outright wrong. No, I do understand why people use blueprints after a while for these things. So first things first, that thing here doesn't really come together. So... next thing, I need a connector that does connect this train, this rail with that rail, so... I don't care if it looks like, how it looks like, I only care that it works, so... here we got this and that. But I cannot go from this rail to that rail, so... here, that's lacking here. And I cannot go from that rail to that rail either. And how on earth am I going to signal that? I have no freaking clue. So... I have turned off the biters in this run, the biter aggression altogether, because I deemed the entire logistical part as such a big challenge altogether that I didn't need extra biter aggression to make it even harder for me. So, ugh, come on, you guys are in my way. I need to go up. I need to draw a circle here. Stop squelching around. So, we're going to go full circle earlier here. So. Yeah, whatever. I mean, ugh, I hate trains. Gotta say, I'm really, really that close of to throw the towel altogether with Factorio because of this. And I do understand a lot of people that just don't like it, because it's just such a massive pain in the butt to set it up, you know. It's the first thing with Factorio that I just can't get together with. That's a lot because the UI is just feeling extremely bad. That's just a lot because I feel like the user interface feels quite crappy. So from this point, we cannot go to that point either. So there it goes. Ugh, why don't you use the same piece of train tracks there? Oh, man. I miss an undo button so much. So one thing that I do realize here the longer I do this is I do want to put my blueprints for this on mass replica as soon as I have found a solution that just works. But this is looking okay at this point. I think this should work now. And we'll be just getting here back onto grid. And then let's do our first intersection thingy. So from here to there. And from there to there. Alright, so let's see if this will work out. Like I said, I have no clue how the hell I'm going to do the signaling for that, but one thing at a time. I don't want to ponder about too many problems at a time. Because technically all I need to get done is put down here. All I need to get done is put down signals in a way that the trains can get there and get out there. So let's see. He has to drive on in from this side. All right. And he's driving on into... Alright. So that part works on out. Go. So... that's the end part. So, fresh iron ore connection has to be done here. My mainframe is depending on it, you know. Okay, and that raw iron ore goes here. Cool. So... let's see how that thing drives. So, alright. The intersection works, as you see. It's correcting my crappy design autonomously. Great. I'm proud. Proud of my little train. Okay. Alright, that's not working out as intended. Alright, so far, so good. I mean... that's fine. The next thing that I need to go for is I also need to think about a waiting room for the trains there, somewhere down the road. If they cannot get to their unloading station, they have to stand somewhere else before they gridlock the entire thing. Well, let's see. Let's get into the train. Alright. we got our first train rolling. Awesome. Now I just need to find out if I, or how I can refine that. But it's a start, after all. I really don't mind. Quite happy with that. So, here we go. Now, we would need to transport that iron back up there. And back up there. Oh, gosh. What a nightmare. That's why I'm restructuring this whole thing. Okay, so we got that. So, let's see. That dude is getting his iron from the core refining facility, right? Right. Okay. So, we only need to wire up the other guy. Got it. And the other guy is being delivered by train, doesn't he? Here, rip this thing. So, we just need to connect to that here. Okay. I really do realize that I made so many mistakes with all of that here. But, well, I wouldn't want to call it mistakes either. I just realized that so many of these connections are now just crap. And, well. So. We have to put up a signal here. And a chain signal on the other side. Alright, that doesn't work at all. There's also a decent chance that I just realized that these unloading bays are a tad bit too small, actually. Oh gosh, this is so annoying. Like, connecting rails in this game is really, really pissing me off quite often. So, yeah. This whole thing that I set up so far is going to be prone to backlogging due to the fact that I have here no place where the trains are allowed to wait to get their spot in the line. So that means I also will have to set up a waiting room, so to say. Oh god. Whenever I think I have figured out something, I run into a couple of new issues. Well, that's okay. It's always like that at the beginning. So, I am dismantling this station for now, because I'm not really sure if this is going to be a thing. So, I won't be dismantling the rails, no. We're just going to leave it like that and keep it if it's doable, and dismantle it if it's not. We're going to be setting up a identical thing here. There we go. So this is going to be the train station for the copper. At least that's the plan. And then we have to really think about something, how we distribute that stuff further down the road. Especially not sure about that whole rail signaling thing. I hate this plot so much, to be honest. Because I mean, I do now somewhat understand how those signals work, but at the same time, I am still a little bit... I don't really know how to facilitate what I know now in a way that it'll A, work, and B, make sense, and C, is reproducible for me. Yeah. Are we out of green inserters again? Good lord. But, I mean, the positive news is I have one thing here set up that's actually running. It's doing its job. I mean, that's not a hot thing to achieve if you only have one train running in a system like that. You literally haven't achieved much. But I don't want to be too negative to myself here. This is damn hard, and we're going to get there one day, promise. Okay. So, but I mean, this shows promise. You know, we do have a network here that we can now work with, grow on, and the like. And I need a break, guys. I'm sorry that I have just such a short streaming time today, but I really feel like I need to think about that another time. I mean, I did make progress, but I'm not happy with the progress I did there. I feel like it could have been a lot better than that. Why on earth is that thing called the same? It has to have an... Oh, if you copy the train station, it copies the train station entirely. Good lord. Ah, the more you know. So, well, oof. Just oof. I think I really have to think about the setup of my rail grid again. Because I don't see right now how I will be able to put that whole thing into larger scales. That's one thing that bothers me. So, let's see. Train will come from here. So putting up a rail signal here. And a chain signal on the opposite side. And now we have to do that basically for every single crossing there. But the problem is now, I think, with those, let's see. Oh, he is able to transport again. So right now you see those lights switching through. That's because they don't see any, value in what I did there, so. There we go. well, I have really too much, not enough of a clue what I'm doing here in the larger picture. I mean, you can only put up signaling if you have the entire picture to see there. How much stream is there left? I'm actually on the verge of tuning out because my head is exploding. I'm trying to set up a system that works with this nightmare here, and I just figured that I probably should have. Oh, I don't know where to start. I really don't know where to start. Signaling on the crossroads has to be done. I need to figure out a signaling for those intersections somehow, because I don't know how to signal these either. And, well, as you see there, I have here crappy loops that, well, make sure that the trains are able to travel there, but altogether, I don't have a bigger picture of it. And right now, this whole thing only will be able to stomach one train at a time, because otherwise it'll crash and burn. But, well. So. What up, Ash? What's the nose? Now you got me curious. Now I want to know what's making you so hyped up. So there we go. Just realized that we're only using half the throughput of that thing here. Not necessary. So to give the possibility to use this bidirectional, I don't want to have this this direction, this that direction. I don't want to have that. I was hoping that I could be able to signal that. Yeah, don't you worry. I'm just building around. There's no second train in the. There's not going to be a second train in there before I have A, thought through how this is going to work, and B, set up railing and set up signaling, and C, save the game before I press the button to start that. Don't worry. I really have no clue how this thing will look like when it's done, and that's why you see all these weirdnesses in between. And second, I have literally no clue about that frickin' train system in this game. I really hate it from the bottom of my heart. It's I try to get along with it, but the more I fiddle around with it, the more I find it disgusting. Well, Ash, the thing is I am a little bit beyond help at that point, because I just struggle way too much to utilize what I know how they work into my systems. I see how other people build it, but that doesn't help me, because I've never been somebody who's copying builds from other people, and therefore I need to understand what's happening there. Technically, I have understood the functions of these things, but practically applying them, I hate how this user interface looks like. I always get I always just get confused by the user interface and nothing else. And people keep explaining things to me, and at the end of the day, I only get a tiny step forward every time, because I really think it's either me or that system is horribly designed in terms of user friendliness. I personally hate how this is strung up. But I do know that what's set up here is not going to work. Don't worry. I'm in my experimentation phase here. This is me learning how this effing train system is supposed to work, and it really pisses me off more than anything else as far as my experiences went. And it's mostly because it's just like you clap up something, and then you're like, is it doing something, or is it not doing something? Is this anything? Is this worth anything, or is it not? For example, here I feel like here it should definitely be there should definitely be a signal that puts you on wait if that other rail is already taken up. But double-sided lanes are a headache to work with, both IRL and games. Yeah, I feel like it will be the much smarter way to just to go one-directional lanes, but it ain't easier to set that up either. You know, well, okay, it is easier to set that up as well, but you get the idea. I just feel like that part of the game blows. That's just my subjective experience that with trains and Factorio. I never had fun with them so far. I invested I don't know how many hours into it, and all I get back is just frustration, bad mood, and not much reward. And pisses me off a bit, but I know that there will be a aha moment, and then everything will be fine. But until then, I don't know. It's just a history of failings and misunderstandings, and I don't know. I don't like it, and it's hard for me to get past that. Anyways, so enough about that muttering. I know the last couple of streams were all about I hate trains. I promise it'll get back there. No, and having a dedicated lane for each direction is more efficient. Let's try and having... Yeah, well... Let's not get into the technical details, please. I'm still trying to get the bare systems working somehow, you know, and well, I don't think that there's anything wrong with the trains. I think it's just the user interface of the game super hard to get into. I feel like there's so little explanation and so little configuration, and I mean, you cannot even configure these suckers, you know. You're supposed to understand how these things work. I did all the tutorials. I watched several people's tutorials. I read Wikipedia entries, and I'm still not grasping it. And I'm a person who's doing tutorials as a regular thing in my life, you know. There has to be something there. It cannot be just me, you know. That's one thing that I just that just doesn't stop bothering me, because I'm usually good at understanding things. And that. Well, Ash, it's easy to have your point of view. You have already understood it, you know. But so far, everybody fails to give me the information that's necessary, you know. Or I'm unable to ask the questions. No, that's more like it. I'm unable to ask the questions that I have to ask, you know. At this point, I think I have to rethink this entire thing in a way that we have one way and the other way, and that's going to be okay. But, well, comparing it with other games, I really don't know why the hell it has to be so effing complicated. When you place two signals that colored line with the track segment, I know. I do know all that. I just have no clue why and when I should do something. Why are those lights effing flickering? What does it want to tell me if this is going on? Is this a sign that is wrong? Is this a sign of what? Why doesn't it tell me what it's now doing there? Can it divide segments? There's just too much gibberish that is so freaking hard to understand that I really try to wrap my head around it. But every time I do, I just get angry, and I feel like I'm only getting a tiny step forward every time. It's flickering because it's wrong. Great. Why doesn't... It just sucks, you know? It just sucks. It's just... Once you understood the system, I guess it's super easy. But getting into the system is something... Yes, I'm going to reread my tutorials again, and yeah. Okay, I'm getting out of that. I don't want to piss anybody else here off. And save your breath, Ash. If I'm in that mode, you cannot get through me. I'm not rational at this point. I'm just pissed, and every explanation you put here right now goes poof, and it doesn't lead anywhere. I already know me, so it's just like it's one system. I'm generally trying to help you to understand. Yeah, I know it just doesn't make sense what you're telling to me. What segment? What defining? What are you talking about? I don't even get the terms that you're using there, and that's what's bothering me so much. I just want to have a little bit of a better tool, a real interface, something to work with, and not just some guesswork the whole time. Because for me, it's like either you know your way around and it works, or you don't, and at the end of the day, your train will be like, I cannot drive this way, no path, and you're like, okay, now I have to find out why. And I don't know. I do know that I'm not alone with that. I do know that a lot of people out there on the on the Factorio groups. Yeah, but do I need to conceptualize the entire train tracks and segment it? Why do I have to see the entire picture right from the get-go? I don't know. Why can't we just say that why can't this all happen automatic? You know? Why do I have to configure it in such a painstaking way with all these confusing things? Well, I don't want to put this deeper. You're trying to help. I'm not accessible for help right now, and I thank you all for your time. It must be quite shameful to watch me like that, and I want to put an end to this. So, drop me your comments down below, leave me a thumbs up, and I'll try to read into that whole crap another time. And because trains in this game are realistic, come on, Ash, put a lid on it, please. Please, I'm trying to calm down here, my friend. Please. I'm not ready for any further train topic right now, alright? So, see you guys next time, and have a good one. I hate trains.